Rudolph the red-nosed camel. So let's be honest. If our children and grandchildren thought that the three wise men visited baby Jesus on Rudolph the red-nosed camel, we would smile but hardly be surprised. Or if our kids thought that the angels serenaded the shepherds in the field with a jingle bell accompaniment, we would smile and not be surprised. Christmas, that is, the religious or spiritual celebration of Jesus' birth, Christmas is almost history. It has been taken over by Santa and stolen by the Grinch and big retail. This is sometimes called the commercialization of Christmas. And sometimes the commercialization of Christmas even makes the news. So, for example, a few years ago, Starbucks celebrated the season by serving its ventes in red cups. And some sippers were outraged, claiming that this failing to mention the word Christmas on Starbucks cups, well, this was a war on Christmas. They wouldn't stand for it. And Donald Trump addressed the cup controversy during his campaign for the presidency. Donald Trump said, "Maybe we should boycott Starbucks. If I become president, we're all going to be saying Merry Christmas again, I can tell you that for sure." But maybe not, because this year Starbucks cups say, "Merry Coffee." Next slide, please. You know, I liked the hipster manger controversy even better. As soon as Irene saw this Christmas creche, she had to have it. If you look closely, Mary has a Starbucks, of course, in her hand. And the wise men bring baby Jesus gifts on Segways from Amazon with Amazon packages. And Joseph, of course, he's taking a selfie with his iPhone. The Christmas story retold for the 21st century, I guess. Casey Wright is the entrepreneur who created this. And he had an interview on CNBC to discuss how people reacted to this manger scene. And Casey Wright said, well, usually people say, well, that's hilarious. Or he said, they say, that's sacrilegious. I hope you burn in hell. And said Casey, there's never anyone between those two extremes. I mean, how do you feel about the commercialization of Christmas? We could fight it, or we could aspire to a muscular Christianity. We could insist on having it our way. But really? You know, I'm not interested, personally, in forever offering my theological muscles to be felt. I'm not interested in thumping my holier-than-thou breast and saying, you want to fight? Similarly, I'm not interested in a Herod-type Christianity that insists that every wise person must worship at his altar in obedience to his fundamentalist pressure politics. I'm not interested in a Gilead type of Christianity as described in Margaret Atwood's books, The Handmaid's Tale and the Testaments. You know, the Gilead type of Christianity where what you sing and how you dress and what you're allowed to think and drink is decided. It's all decided by politicians pretending to be religious. I'll be blunt here. Religious power corrupts, and absolute religious power, the kind that coerces people through laws or social pressure, that kind of religious power corrupts absolutely. Too much power for religion looks like residential schools training First Nations kids how to be white kids. Too much power for religion, it looks like social mores that force LGBTQ people or atheists or anyone who's different back into the closet. And absolute power for religion looks like crusades that kill millions, pogroms that chase down Jewish people, Balkans wars, prison for unbelievers and nonconformists. No. I will not defend any attempt to officially put Jesus back into Christmas. I will not. There's a reason, according to our stories, that Jesus was born in a barn and laid in a manger of straw. There's a reason he had, according to Isaiah, no form or majesty that we should desire him even for our seasons. There is a reason Jesus chose to be despised, and actually the word is rejected. A man of sorrows who suffered and died rather than submit to the power of priests and Roman politicians. There's a reason Jesus fled to Egypt when Herod's soldiers came looking for him. Jesus fled to Egypt instead of calling angels flying F-18s to deal with Herod. You see, the very character of Christianity is that our persuasiveness never lies in the power of Goliaths or Herods or prime ministers or presidents and however they might conceive of it. No. The power of Christmas does not lie in the financial might of unions or corporations to coerce. No, we Christians get to sing our Advent songs, and actually we get to live our lives in a minor key. We choose to be the voice crying in the wilderness. The Christian way when it comes to war on Christmas is to do as Jesus did. That is to turn the other cheek, to clothe the naked, to feed the hungry, to provide good-paying jobs, if that's within our power, in vineyards or corrals for sheep. The Christian way is to create community where our care and our concern, that's what turns heads. It's true. Christianity is no longer the religion of those with the mostest. Our faith is actually being marched right out of the public square and into the sunset. That's okay. We don't need to be an officially, politically approved religion to change the world. We only need to strive to be like Christ, wherever and whenever we can, to bring Jesus' values to our families, our workplaces, and corporations through our individual actions and choices. We need only to strive to be like Christ the way he was Christ, quietly, with kindness, with healing, seeking justice for the least and the last when we can. So never mind this war on Christmas. It isn't our war. And sure, go on. Enjoy this whole month's worth of Frosty the Snowman and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Camel. Enjoy it if you can stand it. Shop and open Christmas gifts on Christmas morning. Just enter into the frivolity and the generosity of this most secular of seasons and have fun. And do it with the attitude of Christ. That's all. Amen.